Hey everybody, this is Carsillo, and I have the distinct pleasure of talking with an old friend of ours, all the way back from the Rock Band 2 days, John Drake. John, how you doing today, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. We just saw Dance Central and Rock Band 3. We're going to go in Rock Band 3 first.
Okay.
Rock Band 2 was amazing, the track packs, all that stuff. But now you're going bigger and better in terms of going more, I guess, professional. The drum sets, the guitar, the keyboard now. Talk to us, I guess, about what went into that decision and how hard it was to add, cymbals to the drum set and, a full keyboard complement.
Yeah, so Rock Band's always been about, or Harmonix, where we make Rock Band's always been about bringing people closer to the music, and I think that it's sort of always been our ultimate vision to be able to connect people directly to playing an actual instrument. And that's what led to Rock Band Pro, which is what you're talking about, which is the idea of playing real guitar with our new guitar controllers, playing keyboard, and playing drums with cymbals and 3-bar harmony vocals. We've really added a whole other layer on top of a very large and spongy cake, which is delicious. And the rest of Rock Band 3 is really great, though. I mean, it's still a really fun game with great music. 83 of the best songs we've ever had in Rock Band. All your old instruments and old songs are going to become ported in. They're all compatible. So at the end of the day, really, we've added a whole other layer on top. If you want to pursue learning real guitar or playing keyboards, you can do that within Rock Band, and you can play real songs that you know and love and learn through our trainer system or through just playing the game.
You mentioned the trainer system and how in depth it is, I guess, in learning about the instruments. Talk about what made you want to do the trainer system and what entails it exactly.
Yeah, so we never want to jump people just right into the deep end. Like you can play the game right away, even on Pro. Rock Band 3 can play right away on Easy or Medium. We actually played today with a bunch of people who were just sight reading on Easy, and they had fun. It's definitely still a fun gameplay experience. But to actually ramp your way all the way up to Hard or Expert, or if you get inspired from playing Easy and Medium and love playing the real notes, we want to give people the opportunity to dive deeper and actually get their hands on real musical knowledge and the technique that they need to play those more complicated songs. So whether it's playing one note at a time, we have really simple trainers about just plucking strings on the guitar or playing single notes on the keyboard, going up to moving chords and guitar solos and song by song trainers. I want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity basically to master the instrument of their choosing if they choose to by playing the game. And then at the end of the day, they can go out and take real guitar lessons or get some tab books or play piano in their house. So it's supposed to be an empowering experience unless you leave the game having been tricked into learning an instrument.
Very cool. Another aspect that we've seen is one of the great things about Rock Band that people love, of course, is the score and trying to get their high score and beat the high score and getting 5 stars. There's also a spade system. Tell us what entails the spade system.
So in road challenges, we have a sort of second order mechanic where we're tracking spades and stars. All the stars you earn equal 1 spade for each star. So spades is sort of this meta score where you also get a spade for deploying overdrive a certain amount of times in a song or getting accuracy in a song. And those are just inside the road challenges. That's how you earn our sort of medal system where we have bronze, silver, and gold for each of our road challenges, these little 1 to 4 hour tours that we have for you to play with your friends in sort of a party night. And when you master those, you're unlocking goals, you're unlocking in-game achievements, and it's pretty awesome and empowering to be well, I'm going to get, we don't want to change our scoring mechanic from being 5 stars, which everyone knows and understands and loves. So that's still how you score song score-wise. But overall, for this little mini campaign you go on for one evening, we have a sort of bigger campaign score, which we make up of spades because it's sort of ace of spades, super tough.
There's also, at the end of every song, always you see the percentage of how many notes you've hit and whatnot. But you guys have expanded on that. Not only do you get, how much your percentage is, but also what different parts of the song there are, and how many times you deployed overdrive, like you said. Talk a little bit about how much more in-depth, I guess, when you finish the song, it gets.
One of the cool things about a game is this idea of goals and having hundreds of goals throughout the game for you to chase after. Whether you're in quick play or in the trainers or in the campaign, whatever it is, you're always sort of having the opportunity to unlock these, special little skills and trophies that we have in the game. And the cool thing about that is in order to do that, we need to be tracking everyone individually at all times. What you're mentioning is that at the end of the song, we actually break out your individual score. So you still have your band score and the number of stars you got, but you got 5 stars on drums, while one of your colleagues got 3 stars on pro guitar. And we show you those individual scores. We show you the individual percentages you get, which we've always done. And then if you scroll down, you can actually see if you unlocked any goals, what your section by section breakdown was. So I got 100% in the verse and 80% in the chorus, which can help you if you need to go back and practice later. We show you your streak and your accuracy and all this stuff. So we're tracking a ton of data that you can have access to, but also that the goal system can mine and say, oh, well, this profile just did all this stuff on keyboards they've never done before. We're gonna give them 3 goals, a new T-shirt, some jeans, and a hat. It's pretty awesome. No matter where you are in the game, you're always presented with the opportunity to kick some serious ass.
Nice. And of course, probably the most important question though, How many new songs are going to be when it's released?
83 songs on the disc. We're going to support your library, so we're going to have about 2,000 songs by the time the game actually comes out. Backwards compatible with your DLC, with songs you can export from Rock Band 1 to track packs, Green Day Rock Band. Overall, it's all pretty radical, so we're really excited about it.
Very nice. And of course, it drops October 26th, correct?
October 26th on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo Wii, and the DS, which we have a great handheld version of.
Nice. Moving on now into Dance Central, which is your Kinect-oriented game. And of course, yes, very no controllers, just completely, exactly, facial, body, completely all that stuff. Tell us a little bit about how, I guess, that came about and how it is to play a game without a controller.
So we're big fans of all kinds of music at Harmonix, right? I mean, we love rock music a lot, and we've sort of been trapped inside of it for a couple of years with the the Guitar Hero franchise we worked on, and then Rock Band, and nothing makes us happier than like a good sludgy metal song. But at the end of the day, like we like a broad variety of music, and dance music is something we've always been passionate about. Back to Frequency and Amplitude, we've always had sort of different styles, and dancing is a great way to connect to music if you're not playing an instrument. The next way most people connect to music is through dance, one of the oldest forms of getting in touch with some songs. So we've always wanted to make another a dance game. We've done camera games before with iToy Antigrav, but we were really waiting for the technology to step up and let us make a game that is tracking you in real time with your full body. Like, dancing's all about your butt and your hips, and if you're just tracking your hands or your feet, like, you're not dancing. You are wildly waving around like a lunatic or jumping up and down on the floor, and none of that's that fun. So Dance Central, Microsoft came to us with the Kinect technology and said, like, we have this cool sensor, and we said, does this thing work? And they showed us that it worked, and we were like, holy crap, we should make a dance game for this, and we did, and now it's awesome.
Very cool.
Summary.
Boom. Now, the only thing is that with Kinect, there's been a lot for the launch. It seems to be a lot of three types of games: sports games, exercise, or dance games. Are you afraid that the market for Kinect might get a little flooded with these types of games too quickly?
No, I think actually the exact opposite was going to happen. Well, I think the dance is probably the most natural expression of like your body in a space. Like, what do you do if you're like in front of a camera? Like, dance in front of your mirror, jump around. That stuff's really natural. I think that's why we have like one of the most successful translations of the technology right off the bat, because I think it's just like a really natural fit. But it's also about like how long developers have had to work on this. Like, we are lucky enough to have teams separate and big enough to work on Rock Band 3 and Dance Central at the same time. Other studios who maybe didn't have Kinect early enough or the technology early enough to work alongside Microsoft as they were building it, maybe just getting their hands on the XDK now. And you might see crazy different games we haven't seen yet coming out down the road. So I'm actually really excited to see how the categories diversify as we go forward. And in the short run, I think you will see more dance games. You'll see more exercise games, because it's just a really natural way for you to like move in the space. I mean, it's sort of like saying, how you see other motion controller companies, like a lot of the games that are super motion based are exercise or dance games, because it's just a really good way to like get up off your couch and move around.
And for Dance Central, do you plan on having DLC and expansion packs later down the line, just like with Rock Band?
God, yes. So much DLC. Except it's not going to be as frequent as Rock Band, and it may be a little more expensive. The Dance Central DLC is like really complicated in a really awesome way, but it's like, we're going to give you new choreography, new audio, new moves that aren't in the game. So it's like, we have to do new motion capture and new animation blends. So there's a lot of work to do to get one song done, versus Rock Band, where we do a lot of work, needless to say, but it's a lot more like, we rely on the in-game stock animations and engines a lot more. So with Dance Central, I think we're going to do some periodic DLC, but there's definitely going to be new songs that are launched. So once you kick the game's butt, which is going to take you a little while because some of those higher routines are really hard, but once you're done, you'll have more songs to choose from.
Now, another interesting thing about Dance Central is there's also Dance Battle. Tell us a little bit about this.
Dance Battle lets you go head-to-head with one of your friends and just smoke them. Absolutely, like just serve them on the floor. It's sort of an asynchronous mode. Like, you'll dance one section, then I'll dance that section, then we sort of freestyle together, and then you dance a section, then I dance a section, and that's sort of the end of it. It's not simultaneous because, A, there's not a lot of space in most living rooms to be able to do big moves like this at the same time without punching someone in the face. And then on the flip side of that, dancing's really collaborative. Like, most of the modes in our game are super fun to just dance in a big group, one person getting tracked to sort of a single-player scoring system, but everyone dancing together in a big fun party environment. Dance Battle is the one time you can sort of challenge somebody. My favorite thing is actually I can play on hard and someone else can play on easy, and we can actually play like the two difficulties together and sort of match up that way. So it actually is a little more fair for someone who's never seen the routine before, or is just like a new dancer, to actually challenge someone who's an expert.
Very cool. And how much music and dance moves will you think will be available at launch?
So there'll be 600 plus moves in the game, which is a lot of moves to get used to and master. And there's names for all those moves and flashcards to teach you what the moves look like. And then there's over 90 routines, 30 plus songs, and it's really about the routines, right? Because it's about like the motion you're doing. And the songs are a super important bed of that routine, but at the end of the day, it's about like getting your groove on. So.
And will Dance Central be a launch title with Kinect?
It will be a launch title, November 4th on Kinect.
Very cool, John. Thanks for your time as always, man.
Thanks for coming, man.